Today I am working on doing some shoulder seams for Simplicity 9449, and it's for that dress. That video should be up by now, by the time I'm posting this. And I'm going to be doing some fast and dirty shoulders for it. This in a previous video, and now I would like to explain it a little better. So the way that the pattern has me doing this, which I'm not doing, is it wants the facing sewed down with the seam allowance for the facing folded down so that it can be turned out, and then the shoulder seams can be sewn together. Then on the inside you have to sew it shut with like a slip stitch, or however you choose to do that. Slip stitch! Anyway, I will not be doing it that way because the last time I did it that way, I don't think it gave the best finish and it was kind of annoying. So I'm going to do it my way this time. The first order of business is pinning the facings to the bodices. Both bodices already have their darts sewn in, and you just need to pin all the way around them, and whenever you go to sew them, you leave the shoulders open. Over at the machine, they can be sewn all the way around the armholes and the necklines, leaving the shoulder seams open. And you can start right on the very edge. You don't have to leave any gap for the seam allowance. Now they need trimmed and clipped so that whenever they're turned out, they will lay nicely. I prefer to grade my seams so that later on there won't be as much bulk in that area. And when you do this, one seam allowance ends up shorter than the other one so that it ends up as a smoother transition. Now that they are trimmed and clipped, they need to be understitched as far up as they can fit under the machine. I prefer to do my understitching before I press things open because whenever it's understitched, everything just kind of falls into place whenever you're ironing instead of having to fuss with it and get the edges nice, so that one side isn't peeking out onto the outside. Now they need pressed, and I am just turning them right side out so that they'll be pressed how they'll sit whenever it's sewn up. The bodice back does get turned back inside out later, just so it can be sewn together though. In order to do this, the back, the facing needs to be turned wrong side out, and the front needs to be right side out. You flip it so that the right sides are together, and then you insert this into the back. You match up the edges. Then once it's matched up, just give it some pins. You can go over to the machine and sew right across there. Now that this is sewed, just flip it open. And we have some shoulders. Thank you for joining me for this wee snippet of a video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see more sewing content, please subscribe. If you'd like to see what I'm up to day to day, feel free to follow me at Sarah V Sews Vintage. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.